Hi, this is Camille from My Junk Journal Heaven. I was watching a video the other day, and I will put her name in the description box. I tried to look it up, and my iPad is getting an update, so it won't let me look it up right now. But anyway, she did something where she folded paper in thirds. Oh, it's the Paper Outpost. Hither and yon from the Paper Outpost. That's what it is, hither and yon. And she folded these and then did this, and then you have places to put, to put your tags in here. So I thought, well, that'd be cool to make. And then I looked at an envelope and I said, oh, this is perfect. So I'm going to make one with the envelope, but I need to straighten it up a little bit on this side. Oh, that's not going to be big enough. How is everybody? We've had some rain here, which is good. We've needed it. We've really needed some rain. I don't know if it's going to turn out even or not on each side, and I don't know if it matters. That's a 1/2 inch. Okay, I can cut that to about a 1/2 inch. I thought this would work well with the junk mail envelopes, and I love pocket, or the ones with the windows in them, especially the big windows. I really like them. So I decided I would use this. And I know you've seen me use these before and cover them and put things in them. This is going to be some Christmas ephemera. Now, where did my good pin go? I had a nice good pin out here. Instead, I've got this one that rusts. That is just strange. I know I replaced it with a good pin the other night. Can't take it out of that one. I'll have to get another one out. Okay, anyway. So I want to do this for Christmas. And, well, I'm going to have to cut the end of this off too, because we still need a pocket. And I will probably glue it down the side. I'm just going to cut a sliver off the top. The idea being that, and I've already cut this one. No, I haven't either. I got to cut that one too. I'll just tear that off. I don't need that glued on. The thing about this one being such a big envelope is that I can't have it too big to fold up, because then it'll be bigger than the page, and most of my pages are about 5 inches, and I'm assuming that this will be about right for a page. Now, because this is so big in the front, I made the one on the back smaller. And the total width of this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inches. So it's just barely going to fit on my page. But what I want to do is I want to have, I'm going to have to take some of Santa off the bottom. I can tell. It's sticky for some reason. Looks like I need to take some of Santa off a couple of places here. I kind of want the tree on there. So how are you guys? I know some people are getting cold weather already. We're not cold. We're in the mid 70s. Sometimes the higher 70s. I keep tabs on my weather app for my family that live in different places, and I notice my daughter in Utah has had some pretty cold temperatures. And my younger daughter lives in Henderson, Nevada, but they have a house in Arizona, and they've had cold weather in the house in Arizona. They aren't there all the time. They go there on the weekends, but they live in Henderson. My son-in-law is a pediatrician in Henderson. All right, I'm going to glue this down. I find it's easier to open these envelopes up to do this kind of thing because it just makes it simpler. And it also helps for covering them with something. There we go. I like that. I like him to have his tree there. He reminds me of a German Kris Kringle. I need a wet wipe. I've got some glue there for some reason. No, where I tried to glue that on the back and then decided I didn't need it glued. Okay. Put the bad pin back in here till I get time to get a good one out. All right, so now I have him in there, and he'll be in the glued in there, so when you pull out the tag you'll see him. And I need to cover this with something. I have some papers I printed out, and because this will be glued in, you won't see the back of it except this part here. You won't see anything but that. So actually these would be good tags probably. At least one of them would be. Let's see. What do I want to put on that paper? I can trim that down and put it on there. And that kind of goes with his... Actually, I can surround him with this too. Get it trimmed down here. I was supposed to put out my trash today, but because of the rain, I didn't get it out. I think I'm just going to cut this. Let's see. It's 3 inches, so I'm going to cut it at 1.5, and then I can wrap it around the back. Like I said, that's going to have to be partially glued down, at least up to there. I'm hoping this will work. I'm kind of going by the seat of my pants because this is very different from what was done. But I kind of like it. I think it goes well with the... I think this paper goes well. I may have to cover the top back of this with something else. We'll see. Oh, I should have inked that. I hate it when I do that. I'm going to ink this one before I put it down. I could put this along there and ink this a little bit better. There we go. I like that a little better. Okay. And I need to glue this side down. Almost sounds like it might be raining out there again. It was so wet I didn't want to take my garbage can out. Out at the end of my driveway I end up with a big puddle of mud and water because it runs down the street. I need to dig a ditch or get somebody to dig a ditch for me. I mentioned it to one of my sons one time and he said, "Oh, okay." He wasn't too excited about digging a ditch out there. I don't blame him. I'm not either. All right. Let me see here. Oh, now do I want to do that? Yes, I do. Keep you in the view here. I was thinking of something funny to talk to you about, and now I've forgotten what it was. I'll think of it eventually, hopefully. My son sent me a picture. One of my sons sent me a picture the other day of my little great-granddaughter curled up on his bed. He said he found a bed bug. He adores her, so it's not like she's doing something he doesn't want. He just adores her. And my granddaughter works shift work, so sometimes she has to work at night. So when she works nights, then guess who's in Papa's bed? And she's going to be 5 real soon, and she insists that Alma and Papa go to bed when she does, and Papa goes to bed early because he gets up at 2:30 in the morning to go to work. So my daughter-in-law goes in, and she said she does stuff on her tablet and her phone to keep the peace with the granddaughter. Okay, I think that'll work like that. Now I need to cover the top and this part. And I can glue this one down. Can't glue the other one down yet, I don't think, but I can glue this one down. Well, maybe I can glue it down. Why not? It's going to close up the side of this envelope, which is handy to do. More of that flap that wasn't off very well. And I need to trim the top of this. Hopefully I can do it straight. I went to Dollar Tree the other night and I was buying some craft things, and the lady that was checking me out said, "Oh, you're into crafts?" And I said, "Yes, I make junk journals." And she said, "Oh, so do I." And I had bought a couple of hardcover books. I don't care what's in them. If it's not too bad. I bought one time that the language in it was, and the premise of the book was terrible. So I used it for, I still have some of it, I use it for glue pages. It's terrible. I wouldn't put it in a journal. But now I'm careful. I kind of look in them and make sure there's nothing, no bad language. Nothing that I would be ashamed to have somebody see in one of my journals. But anyway, so we talked for a little bit. There were other customers behind me, but I found some cotton lace that they have sometimes. This is a little bit different than what I usually get, but I like it. And I'm going to be using, I think I'm going to be using one of those hardcover books to make a Christmas journal to put up on my Ko-fi site. I might as well just cut this down the middle while I'm doing it. I won't need the whole thing, both pieces, to cover the bottom and the top, but it won't hurt to have them. Maybe I ought to use something different to collage it. I don't know. That might be a good idea. Sometimes I like matchy things. Okay, I think I'm just going to put this on like this and then wrap it around a little bit. So is everybody getting ready for Thanksgiving? Walmart, they had a few Thanksgiving things out during Halloween, and now they've got all the Christmas out and the Thanksgiving things are pushed aside. I hate it when that happens. I don't care for Christmas to be out that soon. At least they're not playing Christmas carols yet. That drives me nuts. I used to work at a dialysis center, and one of the guys was Filipino, and he wanted to start playing Christmas music the day after Halloween up until New Year's and a little bit after. It was just crazy. I love Christmas music, but there's only a certain amount of Christmas music out there that you can listen to forever. And not much of it comes on the radio. I sing in my church choir, and we're getting ready for our Christmas program. If I'm here, I don't know whether I'm going to be here or not, but we're getting ready for the Christmas program, and there's some beautiful music. Just beautiful. About the Savior's birth and all the things that he has done for us. Just beautiful things. I'm putting glue on this and hoping it'll bend when I get it on there. I may have to really put it down. Okay. And this top one, I kind of want to put a little bit down inside. I don't know. Maybe I'd just do better to put some washi down there or something. Let's see if this will work at all. I fold it over, clip the corners a little bit. We'll see if it'll fit. I'd like to have a finished edge there at the top. Oh, that works. All right, that worked. I cut it a little bit thin for it to cover the whole thing, but it'll work. Burnish that down, and I'm going to need to cover the back of this with something. And oh boy. All right. Make sure I've got this 5 inches or under. That's even better. It's a little under 5 inches. That'll be better. It'll fit better on the page. These can all go in my scrap box. I need to do some collaging sometime soon. All right, let me see here. I have some papers. That's a Christmas design there. And it kind of matches, so I think I'll cut that and use it. There we go. And I think it's about 4 inches. Yeah, a little under 4 inches, so I'll cut a 4-inch piece here. I want to be able to wrap that one around also. You don't have to wrap them around, just like you don't have to ink. It's a personal preference. But I think it gives it a finished look, and I like that. Have things kind of tucked around. All right, I think the rest of this will be scissor work when I'm covering this. I'm going to cover this one first. That's going to be interesting. I may have gotten too much paper on this. I think it'll be all right. And I need to tear this top part off, or cut it, and I'm going to tear it. I don't cut so straight. All right, there's a piece I can use for a tag or something. And this is the open part, so I tear that off. Yes, I can. Oh, I should have left a little bit on there to fold down into that one. Oh well. Maybe I use another piece. What the heck? That could be a tag. Just going to cut this white edge off of this and then play around with it. See what I come up with. Oh, I didn't get it cut real even, but that's okay because it's going to get cut different anyway. All right. Now this needs to be... Oh, I wish that was over on this side, and it's not. Can I get it over on this side? No. It won't work. So I guess we're just going to have the paper like this. And I suppose I could use a glue stick on this, but I don't trust my glue sticks to work that well. I'm thinking I might do it though, and then put some art glitter glue around the edge. Someone asked me the other day what glue stick I'm using. It's called Zubibi glue stick, and I got it from Amazon, and I looked on their website and they don't have these big ones anymore. They have smaller ones, but there is another brand of glue stick that's big. I like the big one. The little ones run out too fast for me. Okay, let's see if we can get this. Oh, I didn't put the other around it, but that's okay. I'm going to take this around, so wrap it around so that'll keep it okay. And I need to tuck some in. Cover up the inside of the envelope. Might as well kind of do that now. I don't know how big I'm going to want that, but this can go inside right now, I think. Nope, I need to cut that a little bit better. There we go. I want to reinforce that because it's going to be a pocket, so it needs to be reinforced. The top of it. And I think I need to put a little piece on this back part because that's going to show. So let's see if this is big enough. Nope, but this will be this way. Okay. I know I'm getting you all confused with all these pieces of paper going every which direction, but I kind of know what I'm doing. I just figure if I glue this like this and then trim it off, it'll be easier. And it kind of has to go down, oops, has to go down the back here a little bit. To wrap over the top. I'm going to clip this because I don't need it out there. I've got the sides coming back over. I just need this to be covering the top part. Now I'll do these, the sides. Getting glue everywhere. Oops, that's not good. That is not pulled over to where it needs to be. There we go. I think. Well, it'll work. I can ink the corner here. I'm going to ink all of it anyway. And wrap this piece around. And I can trim that off like that. Oops. A little bit more. Trying to get in a hurry here and not doing what I should. And this is going to close up the side of the envelope. This piece. I'm also going to put a little piece across here because it could be seen. Let's use the plainer one. It could possibly be seen, and I don't want it to be white sticking out there. I'm just going to put it on like this because then I'm going to have to trim it again. And I'm going to put art glitter glue around this one so I know it's held. All right. I think we're just about there to where it can be embellished. Okay, I've chosen some things to do to make tags out of and also to embellish. So I'm going to go ahead and start gluing these to my file folder. Unfortunately, when I went to Dollar Tree this last time, oh, now which side did I want? This was a misprint. That's why I'm wondering. Okay, I want this one glued down. When I went to Dollar Tree, where I usually get all my big file folders, I usually get the legal size, and there's 3 or 4 in a package for $1.25 to back things. They didn't have any, and the time before they didn't have any, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to get any more of those or not. So I guess I'm going to have to use cardstock or print these on cardstock, which would make more sense, but I always forget to print them on cardstock. I start printing and I just print everything in a kit. And these came from Rach and Bella's current kit, something Noel. I don't remember exactly what it is. It's beautiful though. It's got a lot of Christmas things. And this page was a misprint, so it's getting used. I printed on the back and my printer skipped the page and printed the same thing on the back of the page it was already on and upside down. So that wouldn't work. Okay, and this one was also a misprint. Maybe I think they came off the same page. I don't even remember, and I did them a few minutes ago. That shows you how much attention I pay to things. And I probably got the glue way out of the area I need to have it here, but that's all right too. I'd rather have too much than too little, especially since it doesn't always work the way I want it to. Okay, and I'm going to have to get my larger cutter out. I don't think the little one's quite big enough for this. I have a son in Ventura who is close to that big fire down there. I wasn't sure how close he was, and I was a little bit concerned, and my daughter who used to live there said that it was real close to him and she thought he was in the evacuation area. So I tried to get in touch with him. He's not real good about answering texts or his phone, but I finally got a text back from him. And he said his stuff had burned the day before. Well, when it finally came down to it, what burned was some plants on his patio. Had burned from ash, killed him, I guess, and maybe some embers had gotten there, but his apartment didn't burn. He's about 1.5 to 2 miles away from there. And I was also concerned because he lives real close to his work, which is a senior high-rise that the Salvation Army runs. And the people there, I think most of them drive. I don't know that for sure. They have to be independent or else have people come in to help them because the facility doesn't do that. And if they're too needy, then they can't stay there. So it just depends on what's going on there. But anyway, he said that they're a ways away and they didn't have to evacuate, but he was up all night probably wondering if they were going to have to evacuate, and he would of course have to go help the people evacuate. I don't know, that just needs a topper on it and that'll be good. So at least he's all right. He replied a little bit. He's kind of funny that way. But if it doesn't spread any more toward Ventura, then I won't have to worry about him. My daughter has my younger daughter used to live in Ventura, and she has a lot of good friends there. And the one just got their house rebuilt from the last big fire that was there. They had a house that was totally burnt to the ground, and they just got it rebuilt, and now they have no electricity and they're getting lots of ash and smoke. So last time her husband said, "Oh, I don't think it's going to come anywhere near us. We don't need to worry about it." And so they didn't do anything. She went along with it and didn't do anything, and their house burned to the ground and everything in it. So this time she's packed. She's ready to go. If it gets there, they're gone. It's not going to happen to them again. But I think their new house they built with all kinds of precautions. Oh, I guess I could look on the other side to see if it's in there, couldn't I? To save it from burning in a fire again. The problem is a lot of those houses burn because they're older, and when they built them, they built these things in the attic that let the hot air out or something. I don't know. Well, like little vent areas. It's not like an electric vent or something that goes with the wind. It's just on the side under the eaves where the water doesn't get in it, but it lets the hot air out. And a lot of the houses that burned in that fire had those, and they said that's why they burned, because they sucked the embers in. So when the people rebuilt their houses, the ones that did, some of them just sold out and moved away, but a lot of people rebuilt, and they rebuilt so that that wouldn't happen again. So I'm hoping that if it does get there, that those houses will be okay. But I feel bad for the people that have lost their houses. And they probably had the same problem. Their houses were older and were built with that vent, which back then was thought to be good, and it just sucked in the embers. And there were a couple of newer houses up by this friend's house that didn't burn, and of course there's always some in the neighborhood that don't burn, but a couple of them didn't burn, and that was because they had been built with this new technology in it. And I think what it does is it shuts off, it does something so that the embers can't get in the attic and burn the house, start the fire. Okay, so that one's done. Now I need to glue this down here, these two together. And I think I'll just put some glue here. I want them glued, but I don't want them... Oh, and I didn't ink these yet either. and I do want them inked. So I need to ink these edges before I glue it down. I inked the top of that one. Okay, now ink around here and up here. Press that down, that should be good. Now I'm going to put my little tab on the top of this. And look at that, I got 2 tags and a tab out of 1 piece of misprinted paper. They could have been thrown away, and I have a little bits left that I can use for small things if I want to. I'm going to go ahead and put this on top of here. And it fits right in there. And that look pretty, and then you pull it out and you have Santa Claus back there. And it has journaling space on the back, of course. Now this one I'm not going to put a topper on because it's quite tall, and a topper might cause it trouble. When it goes on a page like this, ooh. Well, depending on what journal I put this in, I may have to take some of that off. But if I do, it'll come off the bottom. I might as well just take it off the bottom now. Let's face it, it's going to poke out. And I do make the journal covers larger to fit it, but it'll still poke out and be a problem. So we'll just cut part of it off. And that means I need to do the corners again. Sorry, I'm out of the picture. Okay, there we go. I was going to see if I could find something to put up there at the top. I don't have a star, but I do have these little jewels. Maybe I could put little tiny ones at the peaks of it. But I'm going to have to get out my little tool for that. And I think I'll just put a little drop of glue. Whoops. Hopefully a little drop of glue at each corner, at each point. I may put one in the middle, but I'm not sure yet whether I'm going to do that, so I'm not going to put it yet. And I'm going to pick up these little tiny, whoops, wrong end. These little tiny things here and put them down right there. And if you're interested in this tool, I got it from Amazon, and I think it's for diamond painting, I think. But it picks these up beautifully. I was trying to do it with my fingers before, and it just wasn't working. And Lorette, the vintage paper girl, uses one of these. And she called it by name one day, and I thought, I can look that up. And I did. Now I want to see, do I want a bigger one in the middle? Not the great big huge one, but a larger one maybe. Let me see here. I don't think that's bad. Or do I want another small one? Let's dump that one back in and see if I want a little small one in the middle. That's not going to let go. Whoops. Oh, I kind of like the little one in there better. I think I'll do that. Oh, that end picks up too. Not as well. not as well. Okay, turn over. Turn over. All right, just go back in there. I'll pick another one. It's kind of nice to be able to embellish something like this a little bit, make it a little bit fancy. And I think Christmas is a time we can bring out bling. I like bling all the time, but bling at Christmas time isn't a bad thing either. Oh. Pen doesn't want to go down in my glue. There. All right, let's find one little one that's turned the right way. So I can stick it right there in the middle. And I'll put my tool away. It came in this cute little can too. And there's 2 of them with some extra points. If anybody's interested, you want to put jewels or pearls or something on things. Okay, now I want to embellish the front of this a little bit because it's real plain. Well, now it's not going in all the way. I can see it's not going in all the way. Why is it not going in all the way? I better put these away before I spill them. And we'll see why this pocket is giving me grief. Usually sticking something down in them opens up whatever is causing the problem, and I can't. Oh, I think there was something in the actual original envelope, but it should be okay. There, that's much better. All right, I'm not going to glue it onto this page because I don't know where I want it yet, and what journal or what page I'm going to be putting it on. But I am going to finish embellishing it. And I thought these cute little girls, these are kind of orangish candles. I was thinking they were red, but they're not. Whoops. I better use my Fabri-Tac for this. I kind of want this turned a little bit, and then the bow down here on the bottom. So I'll put the glue on this one first, I think, and get it where I want it. And then I'm going to put a glob of glue down here. And I got these bows from Temu in a good-sized package. I thought they would be really good for Christmas decoration things. See? And they'll be good for after Christmas too. I mean, they're not just Christmas. The little brown ones will be good for almost anything. Okay, that's the project and it's finished. And I'll be doing more projects later, so I'll see you again. Thank you for watching. This is Camille at My Junk Journal Heaven, and I appreciate that you watch and subscribe, and those who come back and keep watching, and I appreciate your comments. I think that turned out fairly well. What do you think?